too. It's one fun map to close things on. But yeah, Erangel will have to see. But we had all these scrims also recently for all these teams getting involved. Like, be a little bit troublesome.
I think some teams are stronger, but for me, it's going to be Elementary.
It would be like your hard choice, just your own decision. Because
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, you know what, Elementrix, like, I think that was when we casted like last year for the Spring Split 2019 of Wildcard, like there were teams that was very renowned for their rotations. Yeah. Want to see if that's still going to be unfolding for them to do. Also, we've got Poopy Man. Like, man, I absolutely love saying that name through and through every single time. I don't know why, it's just something that I absolutely loved, and he's going to be playing again today, so let's see how that's going to be unfolding. But Erangel will be your first game of the day. Going to have 3 of those totals, so you better get used to it. And of course, 1 on Vikendi, 1 on Sandhog, and 1 on Miramar. Miramar will be the one to close it up. You mentioned you liked it. I like it too. It's one fun map to close things on. But yeah, Erangel will have to see. But we had all these scrims also recently for all these teams getting involved. Like, these guys are ready for sure. And you mentioned it right also before the broadcast. Like, these teams have been playing against each other. EU and MENA didn't really face each other too much, but these teams, they know each other really well. So
teams maybe just play a little bit spicier and a little bit different compared to what they might do in scrims and competitive tournaments.
Well, Imperium, here we go. First game out of 12, and the playing path is going to be focused a little bit down south next to Sosnovka military base, going straight up to Mansion/Lipovka. Most teams should be able to get, a decent drop in location. Teams like to go up north towards northern George Pole, Severny might have a little bit of trouble up there. But otherwise, this is definitely like, we saw worse, really, in terms of first, playing path.
Yeah, no, it's nice and clean. You're going to see Elementrix go to a military base. It's normally what they're known to do between kind of the west edge of military base and maybe just over the bridge, go for that split drop. Soul going for the west side of the map. That's normally what they do. TSM Entity should rotate up to North George, and then Fnatic possibly up to North George as well. At least that's based on what I've seen in the past. Might see it different, but that's kind of what based on my information.
I'm intrigued to see where this first phase circle is going to be popping off. Also, if it's going to be on the other side of the map, would be a little bit troublesome because of this phase one. Hey, no, it does go a little bit away from most of these teams, but otherwise it shouldn't be too harsh of a circle. The harsh circles, they always arrive on Vikendi on phase one. So when Vikendi arrives, maybe we'll have a little bit of messy early game action. Otherwise, it should be completely okay for the squads involved. But I'm actually seeing a pretty big concentration of players on Lipovka, which is something we don't usually see too much. So intrigued to see if we're going to have some early game contestment fights over that location, because a lot of teams packed together, really.
And that's normal compared to scrims. From what I've watched, that's normal. Synergy and Jaya Mara, they both land in Lipovka. They like to play a little bit passive on their drop spot, but there's no point in dropping in a passive spot if you're dropping with another team and you're engaging on each other. But like we know in the world of competitive PUBG Mobile, you don't want to give up a drop spot because it can be considered a sign of weakness.
Synergy and Giant Mara are going to get dangerously close to each other in Lipovka. That's the area I was talking about earlier. How will things unfold early on? I mean, you got some shotguns coming out. You've got some Uzis also on the other side. So really, shotgun, not as powerful as the Uzi, depending on if you hit your shots or not. The Uzi is going to be a little bit more consistent. Also, they're very dislocated, a little bit all around the compound. Taking a fight head on, you could easily get backstabbed so quickly. This fight really is unsure of who might actually take it because they're so dislocated from each another.
Well, and also Synergy has another player kind of a little bit to the east of the Lipovka compound. So if he joins in, that might be able to blanket the members of Jaya Mara right now. But it's still, it's a bit of a standstill between these two teams, and just going to have to wait for what's going to go down. At the end of the day, both these teams are quite far away from the circle. They do have a nice, easy entry point. They can just shift up towards the north of the river and come in via, let's say, shooting range. But the longer you leave it, the longer you're waiting as Ted gets knocked down and confirmed by Gunnar.
You know what? I said usually better than shotgun, but I mean, if the shotgun hits, it hits, boy. You're not going to do anything against that. Gunnar gets the first knock and instant shutdown in that fight, and now that's going to maybe put Synergy on a more of a thought process, like, do we really want to take this fight, Lipovka? I'm not too sure. I mean, you got also Austin a little bit further away, got a car for himself, could try and just go and pick up his car, serve as an Uber right there, but this is definitely a fight that I think Synergy want to try and disengage it, because now you got a little bit of a better position set up from the other side of Mara, but here it is, another knockdown with UMP, and that's going to be an instant flush. 2 kills so far for team number 10.
And that was always going to be hard for Schreider to disengage, because he took shots off towards Amenver Jayan with that AKM. He instantly alerted Gunnar to his location, and you're going to hear those gunshots. You're going to know where they're coming from. Gunnar is able to look in that direction. Schreider was trying to disengage away, and he got caught out, and that feels bad, man, but that's going to leave Austin Bot on his own. He does have a UAS. He can look to try and pick up his teammate, but that's going to be incredibly risky, to be perfectly honest.
No. Oh, that is risky, and he does get knocked down. That'll be the third member of Synergy eliminated in this early game phase. I mean, they are definitely not going to re-drop in Lipovka. I do guess they have learned their lesson, and they're going to lose 3 early on. Of course, Austin Bot will just leave the scene entirely, with Zakai just mentioned, and they are out. But man, you know what? I've got to say that position coming out early on from Jamara, they're not scared to take a fight.
Just keep an eye on where these teams are currently kind of located around the map. I did make a mistake when I said TSM meant going to North Georgia. I meant Yasnai. They always drop in Yasnai. That was a mistake on my bad. Got Liker in Pichinki. That's where they always like to go as well. So that's pretty standard stuff. One thing I do find surprising is that Fnatic have not made their way up to North George.
Taking a little bit of time to get up there, but you know, it's completely okay. There's still a lot of room in a circle, so you can be a little bit picky on where you like to rotate to actually right now. It's going to be seeing Sir of Deadeye's Guy going to make that rotation. Deadeye's Guy, I don't know why, I absolutely love that name. I think the sonority of it just feels so nice.
It's going to take a little bit.